This copyrighted telecast may not be reproduced, retransmitted, or used in any form without the authorized written consent of NASCAR Broadcasting. NASCAR would like to thank all of our loyal fans for your continued support, and we hope you enjoyed today's broadcast.
This has been a presentation of TNT Sports.
Oh, Terry Labonte, that would be trouble. He's back in 15th place. By the way, while you're watching the ticker come across the top of the screen, see the names in white right now. When we get to the transfer spot, which at the moment is Terry Labonte, after that, yellow. Oh, trouble off turn 2. Right front tire, Scott Riggs.
Yep. You see, you knew that somebody was going to lose the right front and give everyone else a break.
Because those cars, all of those guys look like they're tight. They all moved to the top of the racetrack, and we still had 8 or 9 laps before they were going to pit. And he was
in the corner.
Yeah, way up there, in between one or two.
That might be a situation. Someone was talking about getting loose going in the corner.
23.
Tony Stewart
go by now, trying to reel in Dale Earnhardt Jr. for the top spot. 4 laps to go in the first of today's Gatorade 125.
The 16's just going to say, have at it.
50 cars smoking.
Don't do it.
Doggone it, don't do it. He's in the race, isn't he? Yes, he's 10th position.
Derek Cope in that 50, again 41st on his time trial speed, 43rd in last year's owner points. One of the bubble cars today.
Yo, wow.
That was close.
That 9 car got awfully loose getting into turn 3 right there.
Casey Kane taking over for Bill Elliott in that 9 for Ray Evernham and Dodge this year.
Get way out of the front. He's going to get passed by a couple more cars there.
It's going to take him out of a transfer spot, possibly. Casey Mears by in the 41. Dale Jarrett working on him now in the 88. And because Greg Biffle is outside of the lead pack, transfer spot now becomes 14th.
And that's it. 88 and 9 are racing for 14th. And Cope, will that 50 car last 3 more laps, 2.5 more laps?
Boy, and you know he's feeling it too. He knows it. He knows he's in the race right now. He's got to hold that spot for 3 more laps. A lot of pressure.
TNT Sports is live at Daytona International Speedway with Speed Weeks 2004, the Gatorade 125, the 2 races to set the starting order for Sunday's Daytona 500. We're down to the final couple of laps in the first of today's 2 races. Dale Earnhardt Jr. is leading. We're watching the final automatic transfer race into the 500 between Dale Jarrett in the 88 and Casey Kane in the 9.
And as long as those guys are racing side by side and even 3 abreast, that's going to help those guys in front trying to stay in front of them.
John Andretti getting in the middle of it in the 1.
And they got the 1 car in the middle of the mix, but here comes the lead. Junior in the 8, leading Tony Stewart in 20, the 2nd spot. If Tony Stewart were to win this race, it would be unbelievable because they have complained all week about how slow their car has been. But here he is in contention for the win.
Tony started this race in 19th position. Junior started 2nd. Greg Biffle led the opening 22 laps until a set of caution flag pit stops. He lost the lead in the pit stop. It was Michael Waltrip off the pit road first, and then Junior took the lead from him at lap 37. We've now started lap 50. White flag is up. And Dale Jr. seeking his 2nd win in a Gatorade 125. He won his qualifying race a year ago. His other 3 performances on Thursdays here at Daytona finishes of 4th, 2nd, and 2nd. It's a pretty impressive record.
But Tony did complain about his car not being able to close up. You see that gap of 3 or 4 car lengths between him and the 8? That's really what he's complaining about. It will not make up that gap, will not close up on the back bumper of the car in front of him.
Well, his father won 12 of these Thursday qualifying races at Daytona. Today, Dale Earnhardt Jr. takes his 2nd. Earnhardt Jr. wins race 1, close race for 3rd at the line with McMurray edging Michael Waltrip, it looks like.
And Cope lost 2 spots on the last lap. They put him out. He finished 16th. He was running 13th.
Talked to him this morning about the same thing. He said he couldn't believe how aggressive these guys were. He had to step up his game a little bit. He said to me, this ain't the Busch Series.
Nope, troubles.
We got somebody pushing out water out there all of a sudden.
Kevin Page.
Yeah.
Look at the motor.
There you go. That's too bad. Kevin started this race in 3rd position. He'll be in the 500, no problem. He had the 6th fastest time trial speed to fall back on.
Now the teammates try to work against him.
5 to go. On board Matt Kenseth. Joe Nemechek had a great line the other day. Lieutenant General Dennis Cavan runs the U.S. Army Recruiting Command that's responsible for the Army program on this race car. And he said, Lieutenant General Cavan told me the U.S. Army doesn't get points for finishing second.
Good point.
Wow. He said, I got the message. Matt Kenseth running 7th, Marty.
He helped his teammate get past Joe Nemechek, but he said it's like I'm dead in the water. Unless he gets some help from the 21, it's just not working. He said it just will not go unless I have someone pushing me. I can't do it all by myself.
And he's falling back.
Yep.
21 is falling back off of both of those guys. Obviously has some handling issues right now.
Well, I tell you what, there's going to be a lot of springs and shocks flying around in that garage area, because we've seen today in these Gatorade 125s, handling is going to be the key winning and losing the Daytona 500s.
That's right. If you can keep your right foot down the longest, you're going to have the best car out there.
You know, I'm sure anybody that watched last Saturday night's Budweiser shootout and the great side-by-side racing and all the passing we saw is looking at this where the cars are having difficulty handling and saying, what happened? Well, the difference is Saturday night it was cool and night, and this is very warm. It's about 84 degrees here today here at Daytona. Sunday it's expected to be in the upper 60s to around 70 for the forecast.
That ought to help.
Dave?
And this is a good day for some people helping out on that 38 car. Did you guys realize that the sponsor on the 38 M&Ms has never won a race of any kind? And they've only been a sponsor in NASCAR's Winston Cup and now Nextel Cup division. So this will be the first win of any kind for him. Bill?
Well, Sterling Marlin having an okay day out there. Not great, not all that bad. But the 29 car, Kevin Harvick, asked the 40 when it gets tight, if it's high or low. And Sterling said when it's low. And we're trying to run together. Wasn't working out. Still trying to work out a little bit here. And see what happens down the stretch.
Well, maybe if Harvick, if those guys get a plan, BP, he'll back off a little bit, see if they can make a run at Elliott Sadler right there.
That's what they're doing, right, Wally? They're planning to gang up on the leader.
Yeah, that's what I think Harvick wants to know where, Sterling can run. And right there, you see they're laying back just a little bit, and that's what they need to do. They need to get off that 38 car and then all make a run and blow by him. That's what they're working on.
But in the corner, it doesn't look like Sterling can stay close enough to the 29 to really help push him by the 38.
It better be a pretty short-term plan because there's only a lap and a half to go.
See, Sterling catches the 29 at the end of the straightaway. They get to the corner, and then he falls back a couple of car lengths. Doesn't look like he's able to stick. Stuck pretty good that time, didn't he?
Yeah, that's going to have to make it happen right here if they got a little bit of a run, maybe.
White flag coming up as Elliott Sadler comes to the line. Marty?
I just checked with Chad Canals, Jimmy Johnson's crew chief. He said, we're good, but that's all we've got right there. It's not like I'm the 8 car. I can't do it all on my own.
Final lap of the second Gatorade 125. Elliott Sadler in search of a Daytona victory. Remember, he's already locked into the outside front row starting spot in Sunday's race by virtue of setting the second fastest time trial speed in Bud Pole qualifying on Sunday.
Oh, there's the block.
For second place, Sterling Marlin. Oh, contact there. Here comes Jimmy Johnson to get them both if he can.
Yeah, I think he will. That little bit of contact there may have cost them both.
Because you know that both those guys had to back off the throttle when they made contact in 3.
Yeah, Sterling's got a good run on the outside.
Johnson with the shorter turn. Sadler wins. Marlin gets second. Elliott Sadler with a win in the second of the Gatorade 125s. And Kevin Harvick shuffled back to 5th in that last half lap of this race.
And Robbie Gordon, who was so optimistic about his car, will finish in 15th position.
Well, M&M's has got to win now.
Got him a win now.
What a speed week for Elliott Sadler so far. And for Robert Yates Racing, for that matter. A team that had its struggles in 2003. They won the Budweiser shootout last Saturday night. Elliott Sadler has won his Gatorade 125 today. Remember, he finished second in the Daytona 500 of 2002. He's obviously got a very strong car for Sunday's running of the Great American Race.
This copyrighted telecast may not be reproduced, retransmitted, or used in any form without the authorized written consent of NASCAR Broadcasting. NASCAR would like to thank all of our loyal fans for your continued support, and we hope you enjoyed today's broadcast.
This has been a presentation of TNT Sports.